Hello there! Let's begin our exploration of how we can learn to learn better. If you are open to new ways of learning and put them into practice, you'll see progress in learning, and your confidence will grow and your performance will improve. In this session, we consider the importance of motivation for learning. Think about why you learn, how you learn, and what you think are the best ways to learn. What factors affect not only how you learn, but how well you learn? Let's ask Bob Kamei what he thinks about these factors.
Our commonly held models of how we learn might seem right even though they are quite wrong. Many of our study habits, even those that we are taught at school, are based on wrong assumptions, wrong learning models. The big problem is if you use the wrong model, then whatever you do with that model, you won't get as far. You'll be wasting your time.
When someone says, study, what runs through your mind? Perhaps you might say, let me get started right now. I enjoy so much. Or what I suspect is the more common thought. Do I have to? The difference between these two contrasting thoughts is desire and motivation. For effective learning, motivation is the foundation and the key to success. Those with strong motivation are far more likely to succeed than those who have little motivation. Let's draw on Rangakrishna's extensive experience in this field.
For motivation to start and be sustained, you need 4 ingredients. They are ability, benefit from what you're planning to study, confidence in your ability, and desire. I have a very easy way of thinking about motivation. It is simply A, B, C, D.
A is for ability and aptitude. Without ability to perform well, motivation is tough to sustain. This is obvious when we think about sports, in which natural ability and physical stature are intrinsic to success, such as height in basketball, or bulk and strength in rugby, or endurance in long-distance running. Also, think about those who seem to have a greater aptitude for learning languages and others who are better suited for maths and science. How much of this ability is innate and how much is learned is a point of debate. But it is hard to argue that aptitude and natural ability don't exist or don't affect how we learn and do things. We know people who understand their own ability and have confidence that they can improve their ability and work harder and persevere longer even in the face of difficulty. Those who are confident in their ability to learn and are in a supportive environment learn even better and succeed even further. B is for benefit. You need to see some success when you first face a particular challenge. Even before you start, you must know the need and the purpose of what you plan to do and learn. It may be a requirement or a step to what you want to achieve. The more the intended benefit, the greater the motivation. If success doesn't come after repeated tries, you will likely give up. Your level of persistence is the key to long-term success. Success itself is a benefit because it boosts confidence and drives motivation for further success. Tangible benefits from learning that drive motivation are passing exams, getting good grades, and earning a certificate, for example. C is for confidence. Confidence in your ability and confidence in achieving what you desire. The biggest obstacle in trying new ways to learn and do things is the lack of confidence.
Confidence, then, is the key to developing and maintaining the desire and motivation to learn. The biggest single factor is how well we do once we try something. Success raises self-confidence and failure lowers it. But once confidence is developed, failure has less impact.
When facing something new, the best approach is to say, why not give it a try? Or, what's the worst that can happen? Give yourself the opportunity to succeed and the confidence will develop. Of course, Confidence is not constant. It can fluctuate with the amount of effort needed to complete a task, or when the task is difficult, confidence can wane. However, confidence is strengthened by encouragement, success, and progress. D is for desire. Without desire, there's no pull and no drive. When facing a challenge, if there is desire, it leads to greater sense of direction, energy, and maybe even a greater tolerance for failure. Although desire by itself is not enough for motivation, without it, and you just muddle on or simply give up. Many people want to study subjects they feel passionate about. After all, we constantly hear the mantra of wholeheartedly pursue our passions. But where does this passion come from? How do we achieve it? If you don't feel passionate about the subject that you choose to major in, is it a lost cause? One way many people achieve passion is to pursue their dreams. Or in other words, to find a good fit between their interests and the subjects they are studying. But psychological research has shown that passion doesn't have to always be acquired this way. It can also be developed over time. As you gain experience in a particular subject matter, such as by becoming more familiar with it, understanding how it relates to the real world, or exposing yourself to people who are experts at it, you can also grow to become more and more passionate about subject over time. To develop and sustain motivation, you must understand why you want to do something. Are you doing it because you are interested in it and because you want to have self-satisfaction from your achievements? Or are you doing it to please others, to get their approval because it is expected of you, or to avoid punishment or disapproval? Here, we are talking about intrinsic and extrinsic motivating factors. Intrinsic motivation is what pulls you towards doing more and doing something better, while extrinsic motivations come from things like parents' expectations and peer pressure that push you into doing something even if you don't feel like there's this internal pull to do it. Which motivation do you think is more powerful and leads to greater success? Intrinsic or extrinsic? Research shows that not only people, but also animals such as rats, monkeys, they have internal intrinsic needs to explore and learn to satisfy their interests, and this pull can be even greater than the desire for food and comfort. We all have this inner pull, and when we allow it to lead us to pursue our interests and desires, we are more likely to achieve our goals. Also, when you resist the push of pressure from others, you develop independence, which is another key factor in learning to learn better because you are more open to discovering and trying new ways to improve your knowledge and skills. Let's summarize what the A, B, C, D of motivation means to you. Ability. Know the strengths and weaknesses of your abilities. Enhance your strengths and strengthen your weaknesses to achieve your learning goals. Benefit. Identify what you get from your learning. Will you learn something new? Will you acquire a new skill? Will it lead to a new openings? Anticipate how success will make you feel and what reward you might get for achieving success. Confidence. You need to have the confidence that you will meet your learning goals. The greater the confidence, the greater your motivation will be. Your mantra should be, I can and I will. Desire. Our desires and our expectations of achieving those desires drive motivation. And motivation, as we learned, is the fuel for learning. Simply, if your heart is not at it, you won't be motivated to do well. So, what can you use what we know about motivation to learn better? First, we have seen that intrinsic motivation is better than being pushed into doing something by others. So, study something that really interests you. Second, set yourself small, achievable goals and reward yourself when you reach each one, like having a chocolate. It tastes good. This will motivate you to progress to the next set of goals. Third, give yourself credit for your achievements, and equally importantly, don't beat yourself up if you don't succeed at the first attempt. Fourth, surround yourself with those who share the same interests and have the same pool as you. This results in high-quality learning and better performance. And of course, better performance drives motivation further.
Reflect on some of the issues and questions we've raised. Write down your reflections and use them to understand your motivation for learning. They can be a useful starting point to learn better. When you become demotivated or your mind keeps wandering to other things, don't waste your time. Take a break and boost your motivation by returning to your reflection and reconnect with why you are learning. For some classes, you may even need to go beyond the information taught in class to figure out how this information is relevant to you and your future goals.
Understanding how you feel about yourself as a learner, what you are learning, and why you're doing it is a great way to stay in touch with your motivation. Another way to stay motivated is to set clear goals, and that's what we'll focus on in the next session.